last witness, what she's been
When
saying
you
all
need
along,
me,
the
I am
complaint
honored
is
to
not
serve at
supported
your
by
pleasure.
evidence.
Well,
Sinasabi
I'd
niya
say
na
we'll do our best.
that
We'll be ready to
threats
help once we
did
agree who's driving the
exist,
body.
I'm tired
an
of lying to
assassin
my
didn't
friends and to
exist,
myself.
etc. To us, to VP Sara, no, we asked, did we watch the same impeachment trial? Pakiramdam natin, hindi lang tayo ghosted, pero yung hawak niya ng posisyon ng kapangyarihan, given may ganun po siyang binitawang salita. Ganun po kalala yung banta, kaya po naging bahagi siya ng articles of impeachment. And to clarify, isa lang po yung other high crimes na impeachable offense that falls under yung act na yun. Meron din po yung culpable violation of the Constitution and even the betrayal of public trust. So itong dalawa, at yung other high crimes, it is up to the Senate para i-assess kung ang ebidensyang nalatag, which again includes the video and its authentication na nangyari, no matter the cross na hindi naman po na-impeach yung evidence na yon with their cross-examination, kung alin po sa kanila or all of them, pasok doon yung offense of the threats made against individuals by the Vice President. So for now, we look forward to the continuation of the examination as well. Pero hanggat hindi pa rin po na paatake yung existence of the video in the first place at walang denial of the claims made, merely explanations, the argument of the articles of impeachment is still strong.
You wish to be free of your parents' shadow, pocket.
Isang video lang ang pinag-uusapan
This is your
dito.
chance.
Ang video ito ay ginamit din ng depensa sa kanilang pagkocross. No? Ginamit nila ito to prove that apparently meron daw justification kung bakit nagpahayag ng gano'n ang ating Vice Presidente. Hindi po pwedeng baguhin ang ebidensya. Kahit anong tingnan nila, kahit anong gawin nila dun sa pagtatanong dun sa ating mga witnesses tungkol sa mga clerical or typographical errors na nangyari dun sa mga dokumentong ipinakita dito sa impeachment trial, it will not change the fact na itong videong ito na nakita ng milyong-milyong Pilipino ay nakita na nagpahayag ng pagbabanta ang ating Vice Presidente sa ating Pangulo, sa ating First Lady at sa ating former Speaker. And that will not erase. That will not be erased. Kasi nga, makikita natin yung pattern of questioning na ginagawa ng defense doon sa aming witness, doon nakatutok sa mga minor things that did not speak about the substance of the testimony ni Attorney Jeremy Lotto. Meaning,
Pull back.
itong video nito na inauthenticate nila, na ginamit din ng defense, hindi naman din nila dininay, which makes it authentic. Pangalawa, hindi din naman nila dininay na nagpahayag ng pagbabanta ang ating pangalawang Pangulo. So kitang-kita po yan dyan sa video na yan na kung saan ipipresentang ebidensya ng prosecution panel.
Alright, we are ready to receive questions of any. Ano ba ang nais niyong linawin sa ating mga spokesperson ngayon ayon sa mga developments dito sa ating impeachment?
Getting the timing right is crucial.
Sir, ma'am, clarify ko lang yung paano makakasure sa prosecution ng na nangyari kayo niyan regarding dun sa Open Romanov na parang na-establish na hindi naman nanggaling talaga, hindi yun ang narinig dun sa Princess Maui yung Open Romanov. Mayor Basta Duterte, at in the context pa of threat, parang veiled threat against the first family.
Thank you. Today I take a
In
stand.
fact, na-confuse nga din ako no?
Going to shop.
Kasi when they were using the Oplan Romanov, they used it as a justification for
I'm going to shop.
Time to be clever. This case isn't running out of ghosts anytime soon.
Mussolini. What happened to them? Di ba? It was a tragedy. They are the tragic death. Kaya namatay si Benito Mussolini, kasama yung kanyang misis, binitay siya sa plaza ng Patiwaret. No? Ito namang si Romanov, yung the Bolshevik Revolution, nung nanalo ang revolusyonaryo, kinuha ang pamilya ni Romanov at pinasa ko. So, ano ibig sabihin na yun? Doon sa pahayag
Siphon's ready.
ni Mayor Baste Duterte, na sinasabi niya, think as you sleep tonight. Diba? Parang ganun yung pagkakasabi. Think of the Romanovs and Benito Mussolini. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So again, hindi dapat ginagamit sa aming paniwala, hindi dapat ginagamit ito ng defense, no? Na meron Oplan Romanov against the Vice President because it was never, kaya nga kinoconfirm ng NBI, nag-imbestiga sila, but they did not get any cooperation from anyone. Doon sa video na yun, yung participants ng video na yun, yung live stream na yun, kasi inimbitahan sila at hindi naman sila humarap. Sinulatan din ang ating pangalawang Pangulo to shed light on what she knows about this Oplan Romanov kasi it appears na sinasabi nila it was a threat to the Vice President. And the NBI wanted to get more information so that they can
This is how I
build
stayed
a
alive all
case
these
and
years.
probably run after those who might have issued the threat against the Vice President. So, sa tingin ko, yun ang kaibahan. Na-confused lang tayo nung dalawang Romanov story.
Ay, dadagdag ko lang, no? Apart from the unwillingness on the part of the Vice President and Princess Maui to share information to the NBI so that they can initiate investigation on the Oplan Romanov. Hanggang ngayon, sinabi naman ni Atty. Lotok na open pa naman hanggang ngayon ang NBI na mag-accept o mag-welcome ng anybody who can actually share the information regarding this perceived to be an operation to wipe out the family, the Duterte family. Hanggang ngayon, ilang buwan na nakalipas, wala pa ring pumupunta sa NBI. And babalikan ko lang din yung sinabi ni Chairman Ace kanina na ang sabi ng ni Atty. Lotok, we were invited
Dynamo,
the Vice
Mr.
President and Maui was invited twice. And the first response that received from
balik na tayo sa Senado para sa pagpapatuloy ng impeachment trial.
It's the spirits killing us, not me.
Chair notes that the
Thank
witness
you.
understands that he is under the same oath. Counsel for the prosecutors, Attorney Ligutan, you may proceed with your redirect if you have it.
Yun o, ganun talaga ito yung libutan.
Again, good afternoon, Good afternoon, sir. Earlier, the defense showed you a video
Talaga ni Atty. Ligutan.
where the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. mentioned that he is open to reconciliation with and if you know when did that event this year.
If I'm not mistaken, sir.
Please make it better.
In your investigation, Attorney Loto, okay, you mentioned during the Rex that you considered the statement of the President. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And do you also remember that you considered a video of the President giving his statement?
Objection leading.
Your Honor, these are preliminary questions. This is just based on his direct examination.
Already redirect, Your Honor.
I know. Preliminary questions allowed.
Reform Counsel.
Okay, now.
Actually, talaga ito yung
You
libutan.
mentioned in your direct examination of a video where the President gave his reaction to the threats of the President.
Yes, sir.
Now, show a copy of the video. Will you be able to identify the same?
Yes, sir.
Now, Your Honor, I move that the same video marked as Exhibit P dash Roman numeral 4 dash 13 be played for consideration of the witness and the court.
So directed.
Let's see who still
Is it in a USB? Is that in the USB?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you will again have to break the seal. Yun seal, madali na i-break na. Mr. Witness, kindly break the seal in front of the assisting counsels for both the prosecutor and the respondent. Counsel, do you know the timestamp?
missing.
Your Honor, it's a. We will be showing only the first half of the video, Your Honor. It's not too lengthy, Your Honor, please.
Okay.
Go out there and impose your will. Going in. Wraith's missing. Need help on Greenwich.
Pull back!
Our Green Guardian has been destroyed.
I see Yamato. Yamato's missing. You're being so dangerous.
Pull back!
Chance I'm dead.
Be brave.
Nakakabahala ang mga pahayag na narinig natin itong mga nakarang araw. Nandyan ang walang pakundangang pagmumura at ang pagbabanta ng planong ipapatay ang ilan sa at kadali ang pagplano sa pagpatay ng isang presidente. Paano pa kaya ang mga pagkaraniwan na mamamaya? Ang ganyang kriminal na pagtatangka ay hindi dapat pinapalampas. Yan ay aking papalagan. As a democratic country, we need to uphold the rule of law. Ako, bilang pinuno ng Executive Department at lahat ng mga nanunungkulan sa pamahalaan ay may sinumpaang tungkulin na tutok din at pangangalagaan ang konstitusyon at ang ating mga batas. Kaya hindi tama ang pagpigil sa mga banal ng bayan sa paghahanap ng kapitulan. Hindi na sanang hahantong sa ganitong drama.
The tech is instructed to kindly pause and cease the playing of the video.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may proceed, sir.
Attorney Lotok, again, when
see the enemy.
the press conference, online press conference at the Vice President
wanted to
happened,
spread
where she
misery.
uttered that she already contracted
looks like
a person to kill the President, for example.
Objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It's misleading, Your Honor.
Our Green Walker is under
She never
attack.
mentioned that there was a contract to begin with.
May kinausap na akong tao.
Inform counsel. Inform the
Where, if I may, Your Honor, where the Vice President stated that she already contracted a person to kill the President.
Objection, Your Honor. The Vice President never said the word contract.
Kinausap ka.
Kinausap.
November 23, 2024, sir.
Now, November 2024. Now, if you know, when did the President,
We're in this together.
Ferdinand Marcos Jr., issue that statement through the video that was shown a while ago?
If I'm not mistaken, I think November 24 or 25.
What is so 1 or 2 days after the transformation, correct?
For this.
Okay, now. You also mentioned earlier, remember that this book's gonna give him hell. Denying the threats,
Objection, Your Honor. Wait, objection.
Kindly let him finish his question, counsel.
This is what I have to do, so thanks.
You said
Pull back.
that instead
I
of
like
the
the Yamato.
first statement,
But it's on the ring.
and that you said that the Vice President did not
Pull
deny
back.
that. Do you remember
I
that?
see
Your
Wraith.
Honor, leading. No, just the basic, Your Honor. And in fact,
The witness may answer.
Yes, Your
Go
Honor,
again.
based on the video
I see Wraith.
dated November 26, 2024.
A video dated what?
November 26, 2024, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this juncture, we move that video be presented again, but this time with a limited timestamp, Your Honor, please. For the record, the same is known as Exhibit
You're making me do
P-4-26,
this.
Your Honor, please. It is sealed. I move that the defense may also observe the unsealing of such document, Your Honor.
Push yellow.
Let the witness be the one to unseal it in full view of counsels for both parties. Thereafter, Tech is instructed to kindly play the timestamp to be identified by the
Headed to
counsel for the
Broadway.
prosecutors.
And the timestamp is 10 minutes to 40 seconds to 11
I see
minutes and
Dynamo.
50 seconds.
Let's take out the drifter.
For the record, assisting counsel for the prosecutor.
Let's take out
accompanied
Dynamo.
By assisting counsel for the
Pull
respondent.
back.
Are bringing the USB to the tech blue to be played.
Channeling spirits. Pull back. Going to shop.
You got expensive taste. I love it.
Yamato's missing. Headed to Greenwich. I see Yamato. Spirit spring. Let's pick out your... I see Yamato.
Pardon me. And then I was asked during a press briefing by a media person if I know of these plans, if you can say the word, if that is the correct word to use here, plans. So I answered. I was asked Romanov, and then I answered. I was told by two people, this is the first time I've heard of Romanov, so that is the third already. And I said, don't worry about my security. If they kill me, if I die, kapag pinatay ako, or kapag namatay ako, in the context of don't worry about my security. So this means pinatay ka. Diba? Kasi hindi ka naman mamamatay by heart attack in relation to your security. Diba? So, pag namatay ako, I already asked a person to take revenge against 3 individuals. So,
Okay, pause now. Mr. Witness, when did this event, where the Vice President undergoes treatment, when did that happen?
Again, Your Honor, November 26.
Need help on yellow.
That is 3 days after she uttered in that November 23 press conference that she already spoke to a person, and the person said yes. She is the president to What is your impression as to the emotional states of the Vice President
Together
when
we can
she
change the world.
confirmed that in fact she uttered those threats?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is incompetent.
Right, good. Your Honor, I invoke Rule 130, Section 53 of the Rules of Court. And you read, opinion of ordinary witnesses, general rule, not allowed. But if we read the exception clause, it says, the witness may testify, however, on his impressions of the emotion, behavior, condition, or appearance of a person. Section 53, Rule 113, specifically allows the question the judge posts as to his impression as to the emotional state of the Vice President when she uttered those confirmation threats. It's in the rules, Your Honor.
Comment, Your Honor.
Pull back.
Comment.
Your Honor, the rules provide that the person should be sufficiently acquainted, Your Honor.
no.
And that is not the case here, so such rule does not apply.
Your Honor,
Overruled. Witness may answer if he knows.
okay, so
Attorney Lato, kindly answer if you know.
what is the emotional state of the Vice President 3 days after November 23 when she confirmed that she uttered those statements?
Yeah, again, Your Honor, when we tried to connect that in the November 23, 2024 event and the November 26, 2024 utterances, it shows na hindi ho nagbibiro ng Vice Presidente nung inatter niya yung utterances ng November 23. At the same time, yung pagiging furious niya, at yun nga, yung sabi ko, yung tuning nila November 2023, sabi pa niya hanggang dun sa November 26, kasi nireiterate po niya, Your Honor, at inadmit po niya na meron siyang kinausap na tao sa tech defense.
So she admitted again 3 days after.
Objection, Your Honor, after answer.
All right, sir. Let me proceed, Your Honor, please. Mr. Witness, earlier, it was pointed out by the defense that now that line where the Vice President said that she spoke to a person and the person said yes to kill the President and the 2 others. That was done in response to a question by a certain I said that to read that question. This is the purpose of redirect.
Let's move on. Let's move on, counsels. We all know what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Witness may answer.
Did you consider that statement, that fact, that it was only in response to Princess Mau's statement? If any, if at all.
Objection, leading.
Witness may answer.
Have fun. Don't get dead.
Well, I don't think so, Your Honor, kasi ang yung utterances, yung nature of utterances, may kinausap na ibig sabihin, even before the questions, may kinausap na ho ang Vice Presidente base doon sa utterances.
Okay. What is the significance, if any, and if you know, and if at all, that fact to your investigation?
I'll get around it.
Very much, we were able to determine there is intent on the part of the Vice President. The Vice President is determined the utterances do not
I see Yamato. I see the enemy. Defend green. Pull back.
Real, but serious.
You remember during cross-examination yesterday,
Pull back.
the good counsel for the defense presented you with a diagram using the props that the NBI is under the DOJ. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
And that the DOJ is under the... the NBI is under the DOJ and the DOJ is under the President, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you were asked point blank whether the President, if they refer to the President as BBM, I would like to refer to our President as President
Thank you.
Ferdinand Marcos Jr. You were asked if he intervened. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Did he, in fact, intervene, President, to your investigation? If you know.
Headed to York.
Leading. Objection, leading, Your Honor.
If you know.
York's expensive.
Witness may answer.
Not at all, sir.
What will you say that not
going
at all?
in.
Well, wala hong dumating sa akin na any information o any direction o any directive even from the director na nakipag-communicate sa NBI during that time.
You know, what is the basis of your findings
Just stay out of my way.
in
Going
finding
in.
the cases for grave threats
Headed
and
to
inciting
green.
to the
Going
sedition against the vice president? If you know.
I'm not sure what is the...
Basis of your findings.
Objection, Vic.
That the witness
Objection, there's an objection.
You may answer.
Basis of the findings, well, as I have explained that, Your Honor, there were several factors that we considered before we come up with the conclusion. Yung una nga, yung manner of delivery or the manner in which the actions were spoken. And then the literal meaning of the statement, in-explain ko na rin ho yan. And then the nature of the instruction na relentless, huwag kang tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapapatay sila.
Alright.
As well as the relationship between the parties involved, meaning the Vice President and the President, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, earlier, the counsel for the defense, in their argument that it was merely an exercise of freedom of expression of the Vice President, when she uttered that, and they said that the Vice President is an ordinary citizen. Do you remember that?
Going in.
Objection, leading.
So, Your Honor.
Your Honor, again, this is the purpose of
Witness may
redirect.
answer.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that? That the Vice President is an ordinary individual?
Definitely not, Your Honor. The Vice President is the second highest official of
I
the
see
land.
Wraith.
Pull back!
Let's proceed. Mr. Witness,
Greenwich.
Green.
yes,
Going in.
The defense devoted more than 2 hours
is under
in pointing, for example, number 1, an alleged discrepancy in the subpoena, okay, dated November 6, 2024. And according to the defense, the FBI supposedly started its investigation on November 23, but there was already a subpoena dated November 6. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Witness, how do you characterize this error, if at all?
Typographical error.
Typographical, para maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan, Attorney Lotok, ano ba ibig sabihin kung alam mo ng
Headed to
isang
blue.
typographical error?
Well, basically, hindi ko satisfied that insofar as the document is concerned. Ito may minsan sa spelling o nagkakaroon ng date. Then pag makita mo naman dun sa surrounding circumstances, ito naman ang pinag-date.
Let's push you.
Case numbers.
Case numbers. Now, what effect, if any, did this typographical error have on the statement of the Vice President threatening the President and the 2 others? What's the effect, if any, of these errors?
They don't have any effect at all insofar as the findings of the NBI is concerned, sir.
Why is that?
Well, because
Defend green.
Typographical errors does not alter the fact that the video exists. It does not alter the fact that the Vice President uttered those statements. And it does not alter the fact that the findings of the NBI is that the Vice President committed the crime of rape threats and inciting to sedition.
Okay, now, the defense also mentioned that there is a lack of signature of Attorney Ria Asuncion on one of the several minutes of the interview, this time with a certain Jason Rubrico of SMNI. How do you characterize that error again, if you know?
Typo, sir.
Typo error. What effect, if any, does that typo error have on the statements of the Vice President threatening the President and the 2 others?
Again, sir, hindi ho nabago yung utterances ng Vice Presidente. Hindi rin ho nabago yung video. Hindi rin ho nabago yung findings namin na hindi kompleto yung mga ebidensya at ang Presidente ay nag-commit ng crime of rape threats and inciting to sedition.
Okay. Third point. What about the alleged discrepancy in docket numbers? How do you characterize that error?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness already testified during cross-examination that he was not privy to the assignment of docket numbers, as that is the function of the DOJ. So he won't be competent on it.
Your Honor, I do remember, despite that, the counsel asked several questions after that, and the witness was able to answer those questions.
Your Honor,
It's for the witness
Your
to answer
Honor,
that.
he mentioned, Your Honor, that he does not have personal knowledge.
Counsel, if he gives a different answer, then you can address that in your recross.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Witness may answer.
There's discrepancy in the docket numbers. How do you characterize this error?
Again, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor, he won't be competent to answer that because docket numbers are assigned by the DOJ, not by the NBI.
Exactly, that's the
Again, counsel, let him answer. What if he answers that he's not confident, then that's his answer. Witness may answer.
Well, kung docket number lang ang pag-uusapan,
Going in.
hindi ho nawala yung existence ng video. Hindi rin ho nabago na ang Vice Presidente ay nagsalita na meron na siyang kinausap na tao.
Attorney Lotok, your answer is not responsive though. Kindly answer the question of the counsel.
What effect, if any, does that typographical error have on the statements of the Vice President, threatening the President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., His Excellency, and the two others?
Defend Greenwich.
Your Honor, hindi ho na-alter yung utterances ng Vice Presidente.
Okay, now, let's go to the affidavits of investigation, which the good counsel
Blue needs help.
mentioned in yesterday's cross-examination. During your cross-examination, you were asked concerning the January 30, 2025 affidavit of investigation. After that affidavit was submitted, now the question is, what action then did
Defend Green.
Department of Justice take that issue?
The Justice evaluated the petition by the NBI.
Need help on Greenwich.
Na kulang pa, insufficient yung sinabit. So dapat i-comply niya muna itong mga requirements na to. So nagbigay ho sila ng, I think 7 ho ang nando doon. Yun po ang ginawa ng Department of Justice.
All right. Now, what did the NBI do, if any, in response to that recommendation from the DOJ?
The NBI complied the requirements of the Department of Justice, and as a matter of fact, nung na-comply na ho namin, the DOJ issued a certification stating to the effect na you have complied all the elements of the crime charge and you are now good for preliminary investigation, sir.
In fact, you also remember yesterday that you mentioned that the NBI also submitted a letter to DOJ. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Why did the NBI submit a letter to the DOJ?
No, when the letter was signed by the then director, the then director was not with all the requirements attached therein and with explanation, specifically yung requirement na kailangan may complaint ang recipient kaya ng presidente. Ang explanation ho doon sa letter na yon na for purposes of preliminary investigation under the new NPS rules, hindi ho kailangan yung complainant himself, kundi pwede ang law enforcement agency gaya ng na mag-file na complaint. Again, for purposes of preliminary investigation.
Attorney Lotok, if shown a copy of that letter of former Director Santiago, will you be able to identify the same?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're now in the process through Attorney Stephen Magallon of Cebu, showing you a copy of a letter dated February 11, 2025. We invite the defense to also
They have the rejuvenator.
Yes, sir.
Also with assisted by a lawyer also from Cebu. What relation, if any, does this document have with the one you mentioned?
The same docs that I mentioned, sir.
Your Honors, at this juncture, we move that the letter dated February 11, 2025, by Director Santiago, identified by the witness, where
Today is
the
not the day for
NBI
idealism.
informed the DOJ that it already complied with all the requirements, be marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-34 for the prosecution.
This is not yet remarked.
Not yet remarked, introduced in response to the direct to the cross-examination by the
Comment from the counsel for respondents. That's what I was waiting for. So may proceed.
We have a certified copy of the case. We do have the
Counsel for respondent kindly confirm.
Feel free to give up anytime.
Hand to you. Wraith is preying on you.
may we have a stipulation from the defense?
Is the certified photocopy is the photocopy rather a faithful reproduction of the original or certified photocopy presented to the assisting counsel for the prosecution?
For the record,
Is it a certified to photocopy?
Compared with a photocopy, so we are moving for stipulation that the photocopy is a faithful reproduction of the certified photocopy.
Noted.
All right. Mr. Witness, which parts of the attached letter did the NBI explain that no law requires the offending party to execute a complaint or legal investigation for grave threats?
I think first page, the last paragraph, which says, it is to be emphasized that on 2024, new rules on preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings, a law enforcement agency like the NBI can file a complaint for the purpose of preliminary investigation unless the crime to be filed falls under Section 5, Rule 110 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure.
Okay. Thank you so much. May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may proceed, counsel.
Mr. Witness, you were asked whether the NBI already identified the particular individual contracted by the President, by the respondent, the Vice President, to kill the President and the two others. Okay, remember that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to clarify for the record, what investigation, if any, did your own NBI Cybercrime Division conduct on this matter, if any, if you know?
Again, sir.
Okay.
You have earned.
You were asked whether the NBI already identified the particular individual contracted by the respondent to kill the President and the two others. And you said you remember
Objection,
that.
Your Honor, on the use of the word contracted. We never said contracted.
Reform counsel.
That the Vice President already spoke to a person to kill the President, and that person said yes, so that's a contract. Now, remember that?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, it's a conclusion of law made by the counsel for the prosecution.
Witness may answer.
All right, now, to clarify, sorry, Your Honor, this is now the question, Attorney Lotok. Now, to clarify for the record, what investigation did your own NBI Cybercrime Division conducts on the identity of this person that said yes to the order of the Vice President to kill the President of the others?
December 2, 2024, to the Vice President. So wala ho kaming makitang Senate. Then aside nun, we have the issue of sa Sina
If you think this is impressive, wait until I get going.
Namin din sila, isa-isa. Kilala niyo ba yung kinausap ng Vice Presidente? May idea ba kayo kung sino yung tao na yon? At bawat isa sa mga nasa pinahon namin na nag-appear, sinabi nila na
You don't want
hindi
Henry
namin
driving the
kilala.
body. He
Wala
makes
po kaming-
horrible decisions.
Wala po kami alam,
Maybe today
Your
won't be
Honor.
so boring after all.
Nung chinek namin yung open source, nung nagkanta kami ng open source investigation, kasi yun nga, yung sinasabi ko kanina, Your Honor, tinitrace namin yung sinabi ni Princess Maui na Romanov, ang nakita lang ho namin doon, yung statement ni Mayor Baste noong January 2024. Tiningnan din ho namin kung relevant ba yung pag-aalis ng 75 PNP personnel from the BPSPG at inilipat sa Manila para doon sa peace and security, parang i-augment yata sila. Kinonsider din ho namin yon, pero wala ho kaming na-validate na information relative to the threat against the life of the Vice President. But ganun pa man, Your Honor, I know for a fact na yung aming intelligence service ay continue hong nagmamonitor at naghahanap kung sino yung tao na yan. Baka ho sila ang pwedeng sumagot o yung aming director, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Lotok. Let's move to another point. Now, in your investigation, Attorney Lotok, no, what significance, if any, did the NBI give to respondents' own admission
Careful, Sinclair.
that she already spoke to a person to kill the president and the two others? What significance, if any?
Well, mabigat po yun kasi lumalabas na hindi lang po siya nag-joke doon nung nireiterate niya yun, nung in-admit niya noong November 26. Ibig sabihin, may intention ho doon ang Vice Presidente bakit doon sa mga utterances niya. Pinag-isipan ho na yan na in fact, I can classify it as...
Objection, Your Honor. The answer is already based on his own interpretation. May we move, Your Honor, that it be stricken off the record?
Whose interpretation should he be answering?
Witness will please complete his answer and then Chair will consider the objection of the counsel for respondent. Finish your answer, Attorney Lotok.
Yes po, Your Honor. Yun nga sinasabi ko, it was contemplated, sir.
Okay, now, Attorney Lotok,
Your Honor, move to strike it off the record considering that he included conclusions of law in his
Your Honor, he's
answer.
a lawyer. I mean, you have been asking questions on the basis of law and we did not complain. Now I'm asking questions to him as a lawyer. That
Please, motion is denied. Let it remain in the record for whatever purpose it may serve. Let the judges give it its due weight according to their discretion. Witness, counsel may proceed.
Thank you so much. Mr. Witness, you were also asked about the NBI's alleged lack of coordination with certain government agencies such as the PNP, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the National Security Council in its investigation on the threats to the President and the two others. Do you remember being asked that?
Objection, Your Honor. It was not covered by my cross-examination. It was
Honor, please.
a query from one of the senators.
Please.
In the discretion of the court, the counsel can ask questions not covered by the cross-examination. We'll allow it.
Now, could you explain to the court how is this so, if you can?
Insofar as communication with other agencies, the Cybercrime Division back then, nakifocus ko kami sa investigation aspect. Now, pagdating doon sa security ng highest officials, again, for a fact, I know na may ginagawa yung aming intelligence service insofar as communicating with other relevant agencies gaya ng AFP, PNP, PCO, and Security Council. Yun nga lang yung sa amin, Your Honor, nakafocus ko kami sa investigation. Ngayon, kung may binababa ko ang director base sa mga impormasyong nakalat niya from different agencies, mag-i-instruct ko sa amin.
Alright, now, let me proceed.
Be right back.
Mr. Moto, you were asked during cross-examination about the investigation that you conducted on the alleged threats to the life of the Vice President. You were asked whether there was an affidavit of investigation report on such investigation that you conducted, and you answered there was none, correct? You remember having said that there is no affidavit of investigation
For the Vice President?
for the Vice President,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
And you said, but there was an investigation, but there is no affidavit of investigation.
sir.
Then the question now is, so whatever happened, what happened to that investigation?
Again, Your Honor, since wala ho kami ma-establish na validated information, hindi ho kaya dito ng Presidente na may apparent commission of crime. Dito ho kasi wala kami napagsimulan. Hindi ho na kami pwedeng mag-produce ng affidavit of investigation.
Go back!
That's the case. Ang ginawa ho namin, although nag-aantay kami ng validated information at nangangalap kami, continue ho na nagmo-monitor yung aming intelligence service. I know that for a fact kasi yun yung trabaho nila. Siguro ho pag sila ang tinanong natin, baka meron silang masabi kung ano yung nangyari dyan, ano yung update niyan. Maging ho ang aming director.
All right, now, but Mr. Witness, you were also confronted with the facts that a certain Princess Maui mentioned in that press conference a certain Operation Romanov that allegedly is a security threat to the Vice President. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Ang nakita namin relevant dyan, yun nga po, yung pag-aalis ng 75 personnel sa BPSPG, then naglipat yung sa Manila. Then aside from that, bati ho kasi sa record ng OWA, meron pa rin 335 more or less na naiwan na security personnel ng Vice President. Ang narinig ko yata kay Honorable yung sa comment ng Ombudsman na ba siya noon o Secretary of Justice na yung number na yan ay mas malaki pa sa bilang ng security personnel ng Presidente.
okay now, referring to Mr. Witness to Operation Romanov. Okay, what did you do, if any, on that information offered by Princess Mau, information on Operation Romanov?
Objection has been answered. That was his answer in the previous.
Asked and answered, Counsel.
All right, now. What else did you do, if any, in relation to the investigation, your investigation on the security threat to the Vice President?
Yes, Your Honor. Paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, yung open source, we trade, kung ano yung mga relasyon ng security threat.
Good job.
Yung Romanov na yan, ulitin ko, na rinig namin yan first time sa bibig ni Mayor Baste during Maisog Rally in January 2024. And so far, PNP is concerned, during that time, nung ako yung hepe, wala ko kaming na-establish na validated information vis-a-vis yung threat to life against the Vice President.
Okay, now, you also mentioned that you issued a subpoena to the Vice President and a letter asking her to shed light on the threats she said she was facing. You remember having mentioned that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, again, what was the response of the Vice President to the NBI's official investigation to her to appear to shed light on the threats she was complaining about?
What is it, Counsel?
Your Honor, that is misleading, Your Honor, because the subpoena was for her to answer.
I think he mentioned letter,
Go back.
Counsel.
Yeah.
I heard letter, if I'm not
Letter.
mistaken.
Let's focus on that letter, if you may.
Yes, I think that was the December 2, 2024 letter, if I'm not mistaken. And then nag-reply ho sila ng letter at sinabi po doon ng lawyers na the Vice President is confident that the NBI will also investigate the alleged threat against her life.
Now, Mr. Witness, you also mentioned that since the Vice President did not heed the letter you issued, You were not able to elicit information from her. You remember having said that, correct?
Yes, sir.
However,
I see the
on
enemy.
the part of the threats to the life of the president and the two others, you did not need to interview them personally to proceed with the investigation. Remember having said that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the question now is for clarification before our honorable senator judges, what's the difference?
Discus is
Why
missing.
the difference between the two?
Sounds good.
Again, ulitin ko po, Your Honor.
My lovely
Insofar
assistant.
as the threat
This will keep
against
him
the
on
life
his
of the
own.
Vice President, we have not provided validated information that remains to be investigation. Insofar as the threat based on the utterances against the President, the First Lady,
Good
and
job.
the former Speaker of the House, that was apparent nasa video, narinig ho namin. Therefore, based sa aming jurisdiction, which is primary jurisdiction, kaya ho kami nag-investigan.
Let's push blue.
Okay, 3 more points, Your Honor, before the prosecution redirects. Now, it was also raised
Go back.
during cross-examination that the Vice President was merely exercising
Careful,
her
Sinclair.
freedom of speech and she was not committing a crime of inciting to
Pull back.
sedition. Do you remember being confronted with that issue?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, you tell the Honorable Court, what is your response to that issue, if any?
Objection, Your Honor. It will call for his opinion.
Exactly, he is a
Call
lawyer.
for
Opinion, Your Honor. He's not an expert on the matter.
He's a lawyer.
witness may answer if he knows.
Well, again, I've already said, Your Honor, to reiterate, if the second highest official of the land
Headed to blue.
openly and in public that she had already contracted a person to kill the president, the first lady, the former speaker of the house, and she instructed that person to be relentless in killing them, and that person said yes.
time, Savannah.
We failed to see any amount of freedom of speech in that aspect. Number two, should we allow that kind of argument? Should we allow that to become the norms of our society? Then nobody would prevent from anyone from doing the same. Imagine the chaos, the disorder, and the anarchy, Your Honor.
Good luck running from this.
As a lawyer and being in the law enforcement, freedom of speech protects lawful expression. But it does not protect utterances that satisfy the elements of a criminal offense like this one, Your Honor.
A criminal offense like this one. Now, as a lawyer, Attorney Lotto, when
Mess this up,
the
Savannah.
Vice President utter in public that she already President, and the two others, as a lawyer, did the Vice President betray public trust?
Objection, Your Honor. That will call for a conclusion of law making, and as a lawyer, it will call also for his
Your Honor,
personal opinion.
if I do recall, the council
Going
will
in.
propounding questions on also
Your Honor,
issues
may we
of
get
law,
a ruling,
felony
the motion
versus
and objection.
crime,
Going to
what is
stop.
the penalty. I'm also asking the same line of questions, Your Honor. What is sauce for the goose should also be sauce for the gander, Your Honor.
A similar question was asked by the counsel for the
Going in.
respondent, and the witness may answer if he knows. If he knows,
Yes, Your Honor, as a lawyer.
As a matter of law, if the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is killed, God forbid,
I like it.
who assumes the presidency?
Objection, Your Honor.
Broadway needs help.
Speculative.
Ask an answer. No more redirect, Your Honor.
before recognizing counsel for respondent for his response, Chair would like to recognize Senate President Gatchalian for his interjections. You may proceed, sir, and you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Attorney Lotto, napakinggan ko kanina yung isang sagot ninyo at sinabi niyo dito, just this afternoon, yes, we do believe that the Vice President had contracted
Okay.
Naputo lang siya, but obviously contracted someone to kill the president and the others. Kahapon, narinig ko na ipinapasa niyo sa investigative division ng inyong or intelligence service ng inyong ahensya itong tanong nito. So, ano ba? Meron pang nakontrata? Don't worry. O walang nakontrata?
Yes.
Dahil this morning lang, sinabi nyo, you believe na meron nakontrata.
Sa Akiran side, we believe that hindi siya mag-leader ang sinabi niya yun. So, ang istado namin, meron naman siyang sa mga.
Anong ebidensya na meron kayo o meron ka yung cybercrime division na made you believe na meron kontrata?
Good job.
November 23, na may kinausap siya, sabihin na nag-joke lang siya doon, kahit galit na galit siya, or etc. But then, nung na-incorporate po natin yung November 26, nung reiterate pa niya, at sinabi niya doon, openly and in public, na totoo, may kinausap na siya to take revenge. Kapag mamatay siya. So, ang belief po namin, may kinausap ang Vice Presidente. Now, in so far as kung sino yung kinausap na yon, in so far as yung existence ng tao na yon, ang makakasagot po, Your Honor, since trabaho nila yun, yung aming intelligence service po, o kaya yung aming
So
director.
yung belief mo ay nanggaling sa mga statements
Yes, Your Honor.
President Sara. No more.
The statements and admission, sir.
Yun doon lang nanggaling. Okay. And then, meron din siyang reply. Na sinabi niyo nga kanina, nagpadala kayo ng letter dated
December 2, Your Honor.
December 2. And may reply rin si VP na dinideny niya na merong grave threat. No? So pag dinideny niya na ginawa niya yung grave threat, obviously dinideny niya na may kinontrata siya. Diba? So bakit pa rin ninyo i-final o rinecommend na mag-file ng grave threat and inciting proceedings kung may denial na?
Hindi, Your Honor, na-establish po namin doon yung the elements of the crime of grave threat. So, nung nakita namin na nasatisfy siya at na-comply siya, nung na-refer po namin ito sa Department of Justice, nag-concur sa amin ng Department of Justice na indeed na-comply ninyo and therefore tuloy yung proseso.
But what made you not bakit hindi nyo tinanggap itong paliwanag ni VP Sara sa kanyang letter? Dahil kaagad dito sa letter niya, may denial na ginawa niya yung grade threat and therefore wala rin na kontrata kasi magkalit niyo.
Well, Your Honor, mere denial would not discount the fact na na-utter niya yon at may kinausap na siyang mga tao. Yun nga ang problema doon. Kaya namin siya gustong makausap personally para makapag-tanong sa questions para makita namin totoo ba itong kinontrata ng Vice Presidente o kinausap o hindi. Kaya lang, Your Honor, wala ho doon, hindi ho siya nag-appear. Yung kanyang sagot is denial lang, walang mga basihan, even circumstantial na basihan. So, hindi ho namin siya sinama sa factor in considering whether or not a crime of grave threat has been committed by the Vice President.
With your permission, Mr. Presiding Officer, just one last question. Nakita niyo ba kung merong capability si Vice President Sara?
Definitely po. Yeah.
Ano ang nakita niyong mga ebidensya kung meron siyang capability gawin yung kanyang sinabing bata at yung kanyang gagawin?
Thank you.
For one, he is the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. And number two,
Hindi naman porket Vice President ka, may capability ka gumawa nun. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, not necessarily. But alam naman po natin yung background, naging presidente ang...
Hindi ka naman porket Senate President, may capability ka gumawa nun.
Yes, Your Honor. Yun
So,
nga.
anong ebidensya na meron kayong nakita na kaya niyang gawin yun?
Alam naman po natin yung background na yung tatay niya na dating presidente ay hinaharap ngayon yung kaso sa ICC dahil sa mga extrajudicial killings, etc. So, tiningnan namin yon na hindi being in that situation, may capability her, aside from the fact na
I like it.
vice presidente siya.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Judge Ejercito the Rafters, Senator Judge Ontiveros for their interjections.
Our green guardian
You may proceed, sir, when you're ready.
destroyed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Bullet dance is almost
Attorney
ready.
Lotok, given that the Vice President repeated her alleged threats as presented kanina, sabi niyo, twice or thrice sa mga
Opo.
videos,
Yes, sir.
did you consider her persistent in making that threat and going through with the threat because these two are different?
Yes, Your Honor. I think yung in-explain ko po yan yung nature of instruction. Yung nature of instruction, sabi niya doon, pag namatay ako, huwag kang tumigil hanggat hindi mo mapapatay sila. So, there, that's indicative of persistence na determined din po ang Vice Presidente na gawin yun. At porsigido siya na doon sa kanya mga utterances kasi maliwanag po na sa instruction na hanggat hindi mo sila mapapatay, huwag kang titigil.
So hindi ba ito tinatawag na persistent lamang doon sa threat kung may mangyari sa kanya? Something happens to her, di ba? Parang yun yung...
Headed to Greenwich.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does the heat of the moment still matter here? Kasi maaaring dahil na sa puso ng galit o sa takot ng gabing yun, nang nangyari dahil sa sitwasyon na nandun po sila sa batasan.
Again, Your Honor, pwede pong mag-matter yan kung yan lang ho ang pinagbatihan namin yung November 23, 2024. Kaya lang, gaya nga ng explanation ko, kinonsider namin yung mga previous statements na may patterns, may consistency. Yung October 18, 2024, as well as after ng November 23, which is November 26, 2024. So marami ho ang mga factor na kinonsider namin bago kami nag-conclude na indeed may violation ang Vice Presidente.
Dahil dun po sa Attorney Lotok, sa Israel versus People, GR number 265736, dated November 19, 2025, sinabi ng Korte Suprema na sa pagtukoy kung may mens rea o criminal intention, kinakailangan din tumiran ang pagpupursige or persistence. Yan ang banggit natin. Kung walang ganitong pagpupursige, walang krimeng grave threats.
Yes, sir.
Gaya ng mga bantang binitiwan lamang sa tindi ng galit o bugso ng damdamin. Yung nabanggit natin kanina.
Opo.
O bilang biro at hindi naman sinundan ng anumang kilos o karagdagang pagbabago.
Yes, sir. Insofar as persistence is concerned, nakita po natin yan ng November 23 utterances.
I'm ready to
At the same time, persistence in the sense na aside from November 23, inadmit po niya at na-reiterate niya yon in the November 26, 2024 statement.
Dahil meron po sa Article 282, no, yung threats without persistence are not considered grave.
Yes, sir.
So, in conclusion, Mr. Presiding Officer, sa inyong palagay, ano-anong ginawa ng Vice Presidente ang may tuturing na pagpupursige o persistence sa kanyang mga banda?
Well, Your Honor, October 18, sinabi na niya doon na I imagine myself cutting his head, na gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba. In fact, may instance doon na sinabi niya na pag di kayo tumigil, huhukayin ko yung tatay nyo, itatapon ko sa West Philippine Sea. Merong ganun ng October 18. And then pagdating dito sa November 23, she was hurling profanities and invectives habang galit na galit siya. Sinasabi niya, this country will go to hell dahil yung tao na yan na nakaupo, hindi marunong maging presidente. Wala akong kinukonsider na mas mataas sa akin.
Jumping to the next side quest? Do it all with Smart Power All. Choose your unlimited.
At the same time, he was lying through his teeth para lang makuha yung boto ng mga tao. And then yung kinausap niya na papatay sa tatlo. At the same time, dinugtong mo namin yung November 26. Pinulit pa ho niya yun na aside na persistence na yung nature ng kanyang utterances. Pinulit pa ho niya nung November 26 openly and in public.
Sounds good.
May kinausap siya to take revenge. Na kung mamatay siya, patayin niyo yung tatlo. That's much persistence kung i-establish po natin yung persistence, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat, Attorney Latok. That's all. No more further questions, Mr. Sabi.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Judge Montiveros, you may proceed, ma'am, when you're ready. You have 2 minutes.
Here's a special treat. Just for you.
Mr. President, Mr. Witness, nabanggit niyo kay Senator Judge Ejercito, hindi ngayon lang, kanina, yung admission against interest. Sabi niyo po, ang mga pahayag ng Vice Presidente ay maituturing na admissions against interest. Tama po?
Yes, ma'am.
May diferensya po ba sa pagtrato sa pahayag ng isang tao kung pabor sa kanya o against sa interest niya ang admission?
Yeah, I think so, ma'am. Kasi base dito sa issue natin, ang Vice Presidente is abogada, alam na po niya yon na the moment she acted those kind of statements, pwede po siya mag-fall in criminal violation. So, pagdating ho ng instead of avoiding mentioning those utterances, instead of denying mentioning, or instead of denying that she made those utterances, ang sinabi ko niya, i-reiterate niya. Yes, sinabi ko yan, na someone has to take revenge kung sakaling mangyari ito, mamatay ako.
They're in mid.
Yun po, Your Honor, ang nakita namin. Kaya po nasabi na admission against interest.
So kung sa halip na i-reiterate niya, i-deny niya yung naunang sinabi, kung sinabi niya na hindi ko talaga minimin yan or may sinabi siyang maituturing na sa kanya, iba po yung pagtrato niyo sa ganyang klaseng pahayag sana.
Baka maging iba, Your Honor.
So, ano po yung diferensya at saka halaga dun sa bigat na binibigay ng batas dun sa admission against interest?
Well, pinapakita lang po in the natural order of things.
Headed to blue.
Hindi ho i-admit ng isang tao yung isang bagay na ikakasira niya o na ikakaharap niya sa isang paglilitis, something like that. Kapag ho in-admit ng isang tao yung isang bagay na ikakasira niya, maliwanag na ginawa niya yon, sinabi niya yon, at determinado siya sa mga pangyayaring yon o porsigido siya sa mga pangyayaring yon.
So, masasabi po bang mabigat o napakabigat ang diferensya, ang halaga na ibinibigay sa isang o sa ilalim ng batas ang isang admission against interest?
Yes, Your Honor. Opo.
Okay. Panghuli na lang po, Mr. Witness. Bakit nga po pinaparusahan ng batas ang grave threats kahit pa hindi natuloy sa physical act?
Yung speeches, yung utterances na magka-qualify as grave threat, magkakagulo ho yung mga tao. Pwede na lang ho sabihin kahit na sino na papatayin kita pag ito nangyari, gagawin ko sa'yo pag ito nangyari. So I think the wisdom of the law is to avoid the disorder, the anarchy, and the chaos that it would create, Your Honor.
So yung sinasabi niyong wisdom of the law ay hindi lamang sitahin o parusahan ng isang bagay na tumuloy sa physical act, kundi mag-serve ng deterrent para gawin yun or
Yes, Your Honor.
grave threat.
Pwede po yun, Your Honor. To serve as a deterrent, Your Honor.
So may preventive na value din nakikita kayo
Yes po, Your Honor.
bukod sa curative.
Opo, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Mr. Witness. Salamat po, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Rapido, Senator Assistant Judge Alan Cayetano, before the cross Senator Judge Tulfo, you may proceed. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mr. Witness, aware pa kayo at one point let's say, na sugat coming out ng 30 members of security personnel.
Yes, Your Honor. In the news, may nakita po.
Good job.
So would it be possible na because of that, nakapag-isip siya na mayroong threat sa because yung security niya being pulled out and walang binigay na reason kung bakit kaya inaano na medyo sabi na sakali na praning
Very much possible, sir. Po, yun po.
but hindi niyo ba iniimbestigahan bakit na pinull out yung security details niya?
May nakita ho kami, sir, doon sa November 26 na video. Kung nalimutan ko lang yung timestamp niya. May sinasabi siyang issue sa security niya. Doon nga sa BPSPG. Parang from military unit, ginawang under na ng Presidential Security Command. I'm not familiar with that.
Sino po
Hindi po siya masyado. Pero I think part ng reorganization, Your Honor, ng PSG, if I'm not mistaken.
part ng reorganization. So, ilan po yung napulo? 75 na
Hindi ko po alam kung yan yun. Ang sinasabi ko po, Your Honor, yung dating BPSPG is under ng attached unit ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, kung di ako nagkakamali. And then, nilagay na siya sa ilalim ng Presidential Security Command. Yun po yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente during November 26 na security threat dahil dun sa event na yun. Yun po yung tiningnan din namin yan. Pati nga yung 75 personnel. Kaya lang, again, hindi po siya sufficient na establish ng apparent violation of any criminal offense. Kasi nga, para siyang normal na function ng agencies and departments.
Yeah, Mr. Witness, yung sa akin na kasi yung pag-pull out ba ng security, was it sudden? Did it, I mean, yung ano yung naging dahilan? At kanino galing yung order para i-pull out yung ilang numbers of security details na particular PNP, and then sabi nyo nga, yung sa PSG, nabawasan din ba? Base sa inyong investigasyon, bakit nga po nangyari yon? Anong nag-trigger noon?
Opo, yung sa 75, ang naalala ko po sa news, parang nilipas po sila yung honor sa Manila. Kasi merong issue ng kailangan nilang i-augment dahil may peace and order issue sa Manila. So yun ang nakita kong nasa news. Ginawa na PNP. PNP bakit meron din ang nakita ko namin, ilan lang yung natira sa Vice-Presidente. Nung chinek ko namin yung news, the record ng COA, if I'm not mistaken, meron po siyang 335 na security personnel.
So marami pang naiwan?
Yes po, Your Honor. And, in fact, kung di ako nagkakamali, narinig ko po yung sinabi ni Honorable Boying Rimulya na yung bilang na yan, mas marami pa doon sa bilang ng mga security personnel ng President. So nakita ko namin na hindi sufficient para maging valid basis ng investigation. Hindi yung katulad dito sa threat against the president. Parang po yung transit.
Okay, dalawang katanong na lamang sa witness.
So, base sa inyong investigasyon at karanasan, ilan ba dapat ang security detail ng isang vice president?
Sorry po, Your Honor. Wala po akong idea.
So, nung pull out yung security personnel niya, sabi niya 75, right? Nagreklamo ba dyan? Sa inyong pagkakaalam?
Doon sa November 26, Your Honor, I think ang isa sa issue niya na may threat sa security is yung paglipat ng BBSPG from attachment to AFP na presidential command. Yun po yung announcement. Pero yung dito sa 75 personnel, in so far, I'm not sure nakita social media na nagreklamo siya na wala yung 75. So nakapakaliyo ako kasi meron akong ginagawa. Pero ito para I understand wala ko akong kita sa news na nagreklamo siya dun sa 75 transfer ng PNP personnel from BPSPG dinala dun sa Manila, Your Honor.
At hindi na siya nag-request ng augmentation o dagdag doon sa mga nawala na security detail.
Mukhang hindi na po, Your Honor. Wala ko kaming nalaman kung ni-request mo sa nila.
So is it possible na dahil doon sa pag-pull out ng security details na sabi ko na kanina, tinatanong ko na again one more time, na yun yung probably ang tinatawag sa kanya siya or anybody kasi ka na na siguro yun.
Tama po kayo.
Let's go, York!
Thank you.
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano, you have 2 minutes, sir. Please proceed when you're ready.
Presiding Officer, dear colleagues. Susundan ko lang po yung kay Senator Risa, Senator Judge Risa, Senator Judge. Tanong sa admission.
Let's go, mid!
Interest.
Yeah, go mid.
You stated this already, but just for the record, you viewed the whole video, right? The whole PR video.
The November 23...
Headed to York.
Yes.
Yeah, isang beses, sir.
Isang beses.
I see the enemy!
How many times there the Vice President made admissions against her interest?
Henry the Magnificent is back in the saddle, baby.
No, sir. Ang tinutukoy ko po admissions against interest doon sa November 26, sir.
No, sabi mo yung November 23 din na ayaw ng defense gamitin contracted. So yung kinausap is also an admission against her interest, di ba?
Yes, sir. Sinasabi ko pong admissions against interest. Yung November 26 video po, sir.
Na sinasabi niyang totoo yun at hindi niya.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, doon sa November 23, may nakita ka doon na admissions against interest.
So far as
Need
I'm
help on
concerned,
blue? Let's push Broadway.
na ni-reiterate niya.
Sound good.
Siguro, para malinaw, in your mind, or as a FBI agent, what is an admission against interest?
Yun nga po, yung explain ko kanina. Ito po yung isang bagay na ginawa ng isang tao na
Hindi ginawa, sinabi. Admission.
sinabi ng isang tao na ikakasira niya. But then, instead of denying na sinabi niya yon, inadmit pa niya ito, ni-reiterate
Okay,
niya. So,
very clear yon. And you and Agent Jean-Marc Calilong said that the basis of the investigation was the November 23 video, the basis sa inyong affidavit of investigation sa file ng kaso is certain portions of the November 23 video.
as well as the November, as well as the...
As well as other evidence. Okay. Sa November 23, ilan ang admission niya against interest?
Ang sinasabi ko pong admission against interest,
This is a new question. This is a new question. If you evaluated well the November 23 video,
Let's push Greenwich.
is there any circumstance in that video that you believe that the Vice President made admissions against her interest?
yung nakita lang namin yung process niya. So far as I'm concerned, yung admission against interest, nangyari yung November 26.
Mr. Witness, sagutin niyo na ako. Nakakita admission sa
Yes, sir.
Okay, admissions is verbal. Diba? Hindi ko yung admissions ako. Pwede mo i-admit yung documentary evidence, pwede yung
I'm defensive.
admissions against interest, especially because may statement na laban sa interest niya.
Yes, sir.
So tinatanong ko dun sa buong video, meron ka bang nakita? Wala. Yes or no lang yun, meron or wala. Yan ang mo lang ang yes or no. Kayo nag-evaluate nun. Meron or wala. Admissions against our interest. Yes, sir. Mr. Presiding Officer, kasi hindi na tutuloy masyado yung tanong. What I'm mentioning now. So yung sagot mo meron.
I'll remember that.
Ang understanding ko, sir, nung sinabi ko yan, referring to the November 26, 2024.
Mr. Witness, paulit-ulit tayo.
Yes, sir.
Burahin mo na yung pinag-uusapan natin you're referring to. I'm asking you a direct question.
Yes,
Sa
sir.
November 23, meron o wala bang statements na you will consider in your professional as a lawyer and as an NBI agent in charge of investigating this? Meron ba siyang admissions against interest?
Ang tinutukoy ko lang po again, Your Honor, yung 26.
No, I don't care.
Wala po yung 23.
I'm sorry. I don't care, Mr. Presiding Officer, kung anong tinutukoy mo. I'm asking you a direct question. November 23, video. Meron o wala siyang admissions against her interest doon?
Attorney Lotok, yes, no, I do not know, I do not remember. We're referring to November 23, not 26.
Yeah, I do not know, sir. Ang
you do not know.
ang nire-refer ko na...
Yeah, don't tell me na. So you do not know. Okay. When she said, kung papatayin ako, may kausap na ako, patayin niyo yung tatlo. Is that an admission against interest? Yes or no?
Based on that utterance, sir, yes, I think so.
Yes. O kakasabi mo lang kanina, I don't know. Ngayon, yes. O ano pa? Ano pa sa video na yon na admission against interest? Meron o wala? Or I don't know?
Yung utterances na yun, sir,
Sir, bukod nga doon.
to me, sir, yung utterances na yun, that's admission against
Sir,
interest.
klaro na yon. Tinanong ka na ng presiding officer, sagot mo, I don't know. Tinanong kita ng diretso na sa video, biglang you know, biglang sasabihin mo na yun utterance na yon. So ang tanong ko na ngayon, bukod doon, aside from that,
Sir, ulitin ko po yung sagot ko.
no, you don't need to answer.
Yung sinabi ko po na
No, I'm
admission
asking
against
you,
interest.
aside from the utterance, the statement, na kung papatayin nila ako, patayin sila, is there any other utterance during in that video that you would consider admission against
In so far as I remember, wala na po yun.
Wala na, okay. When the Vice President said, yung pinamigay sa...
Again, tinignan ko po ang video one time.
People power. Tapos ang sinabi niya, hindi yun yung solusyon. O, kung nag-people power, sino magiging presidente? Kung nag-people power at mawawala ang Pangulong Marcos, sino magiging presidente?
Siya, sir. Opo.
Oh, so hindi ba admission against her interest din? Siguro sa interest niya maging presidente. Pero ang sinabi niya,